Pastor, I was able to compile a list of superstitions.
Okay.
I just got at least 10. The top 10 most common superstitions in Africa. Number 1, hitting your leg against a stone is seen as an evil omen and is warning you to go back home.
I grew up in that myself.
So anybody who, for example,
if it is the left leg, in our culture,
the left
leg. If it's the right leg, it might be fortune.
So somebody might be going for a job interview.
Yeah.
Somebody might be going for a business transaction.
Yeah.
And the moment they hit their foot against the stone, their right foot,
the left one.
The left one. Yeah. That's informing them to go back home.
That thing will not work
because
out.
It's not going to work out. So can you imagine how many people, ladies and gentlemen, have deprived themselves of great things, deprived themselves of their destiny because of this superstitious belief? Number 2, they say don't drink water from a coconut, else you automatically become a dullard. Or you automatically become dumb.
Yeah, you have coconut head.
The last time I checked,
your brain will become coconut.
Coconut water was sweet and is nutritious. But for some reason, somebody came up with it someday and people began to believe it. I've seen people who actually drain coconut of water because they don't want to be dull. Ladies and gentlemen, coconut water is not enough to reduce your IQ. It's not enough to make you to go from educated to illiterate. It's not enough to stop you from questioning things you don't understand. How about you try drinking some coconut water so you have some nourishment in your body, and then you will become a more viable human being to be able to question the things that have been fed to you that are false. Number 3, Pastor, they say it's not a good idea to whistle at night, because if you whistle, there is a belief that snakes will locate, or evil spirits will locate your residence.
So you cannot. So what about if whistle is evil? But what about if it is instrument that whistles even louder, like flute?
You are just trying to make your house the meeting point of witches for that night. And for some reason, many people still believe these things.
Up to today.
And it's strange. I'm not a big fan of whistling, but if you want to whistle in the morning, in the afternoon, in the night, well, feel free to do it.
Satan are not, demons are not even aware of the place of snakes.
They don't care about the sound they're making with you.
Snakes are not even, they don't even care.
Number 4, they say don't allow people to cross over you with their legs, or else you will
cross over your leg.
Yes. That means if you're sitting down or you're lying down, if somebody crosses over you, they believe that the child, that if you give birth to a child, the child will have either one
especially
hand
pregnant women,
or one leg. Then when you're pregnant, in fact, it's worse. They say the person will look like the person who crossed over. So some people, they will say, if you're not good looking, don't cross over me. Then if you're not pregnant, I don't want to lose my hand, or I don't want to lose my leg. I don't know how people came up with these things, but one man one day said this, and it became a norm all over society. Number 5, they say owls hooting on the rooftop of a nearby tree is a bad omen, and it's believed that somebody in the residence close by would die. Many of you don't know the bird called an owl. Well, the owl is just making an unusual sound.
O-W-L.
Yeah, O-W-L. But some people have come to the conclusion that if that owl comes around your house and makes certain sounds, it means somebody is going to die.
Even if it didn't make any sound. Because I remember when I was growing up in my village, I came back from school one day and my grandmother told me that, you remember that owl that flew to our neighborhood, to our backyard the other day, and you caught it and killed it, and you cooked it. Well,
wow.
What I discovered, we just came from school. They just called me from the neighboring village that the son of your brother, the daughter of your brother died.
Wow.
Just this morning. It is because of that owl. You see, anytime owl comes like that, somebody is going to die. That's what you told me.
Incredible. So that means indirectly you were the one responsible for the death of someone in your family.
I killed that thing.
Well, you were just hungry and you needed a bed.
And it led to the death of an innocent lady, girl.
Ladies and gentlemen, killing an animal does not determine who, or even a bird. An owl is such a small bird. For somebody to think such a bird will have influence over human life, over something that Jesus died for.
And the person didn't even die in our house or in our
died
village,
long, far away.
Village. But because it is son of the daughter of my brother, so it is because of
the
it's the owl who killed it.
Wow. Somebody needs to share this message because we are breaking out of superstitions. Number 6, they said if your hands are itching you without reason, it means that money
It's coming.
is coming.
Wow. Even if you don't sign any contract.
Yes. Even if you don't have a job. As long as your palms are itching you, money is coming. You're about to become
money is on the way.
rich. So instead of us to look for jobs,
Let's be looking for.
let's just be waiting for that sensation in our hands.
Wow.
And I don't know who came up with that, but I guess probably somebody had a coincidence one
Some
day.
people say, yeah, my hand is itching me. Something is going to happen.
Money is coming. Yeah, well, all the best, but
Good
it's
luck.
superstitious. It's not based on cause and effect. It is not based on research. It's not based on truth. It's not universally true. So I hope you got that. Number 7, they said eating in the dark is forbidden.
Wow.
It is believed that such an act...
What about in the world of NEPA now when there is no
electricity? In fact, in Africa,
not just in
it's
depth?
going to be difficult because most times some people don't have light. In fact, there are a lot of villages in Africa today who have not seen electricity.
before.
So I guess this superstition says dead people will be eating with you, or ghosts and spirits will be eating with you. So I wonder how you're supposed to see ghosts in the dark when you can't even see them in the light. So when you see them in the dark eating, a ghost might just be sitting right next to you, and somebody really believes this stuff. And when they want to eat, even if there's no light, they'll go and look for somewhere that is bright enough.
But churches are even encouraging this kind of mindset, superstitious mindset, unfortunately. Yeah, go ahead though.
Number 8, if you spit on the floor and someone steps on it, you will have sore throat.
Wow. I also grew up, I believed that thing with all my heart when I was growing up over there.
Wow, so you were not spitting anyhow?
I was doing it, but I was covering it with sand so that nobody would step on it.
So that your throat will be secured.
Yes.
Interesting. The last time I checked, sore throat is a result of some cold and weather
infection,
change. Yeah, and infections. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 + 1 is 2. No matter where somebody steps, no matter how much saliva you pour out of your mouth,
How can that come
it doesn't influence what happens.
Me, I've gone long time and somebody step on something and I go and be sick.
Exactly.
Superstition is a dangerous thing.
Yeah, it's really dangerous. It keeps us in the dark.
That was number 9, eh?
That was number 8.
Oh.
Number 9, don't bend over and look through your legs in public, or you may see witches.
Like this?
Yes. They say you shouldn't bend down and look, because if you do that, you see witches, because they believe witches walk on their heads.
Okay. If you look
So,
like this.
yeah, so if you look through your legs, you're
gymnastic.
about to know those who are walking with their heads.
Wow.
But it's strange because when you're walking upright, you don't see legs in the air. So how come when you bend over, you see somebody's head, but when you look up, you don't see the leg?
No, because you are operating by questioning.
Yeah, but if we were questioning back in the day,
Thinking.
like if somebody said, if you bend over, so
Superstition.
that's really weird.
That is the evil of superstition. It kills your mind and your ability to think.
To think and to reason.
Yes.
That means you're not human, basically, because you're like an animal.
Yeah, but if you don't reason, you are not human. That's why when Europeans came to Africa, they said these people, the only thing they have is instinct, just like animals. They sleep with each other, have all kinds of children, but they don't use their brain at all. They dance when they eat. That's the only thing they do.
We were only good for slavery.
Yeah,
for
so they
hand
said they are
labor.
animals. They said they are not different from animals. So that's why they took us that time. Because superstition paralyzes the mind. And
That's why they were able to give us things like mirror in exchange for human beings.
Yeah, because of those responses and the way they stimulated us through those gifts. And the way we responded only showed that we were not better, we had not been using our brain. But even though before, if you read my book, How Africans Brought Civilization to Europe, How Africans Brought Civilization to Europe, you will see that, no, there was a time that we used to rule over Europe. And, but, by the time we came, there are reasons for that, but by the time they came, they discovered that we had fallen so low, so we are not using our mind anymore. And as a result, that's why they could make us slaves.
Number 10, they said hitting a man with a broom.
Beating?
Beating or hitting a man with a broom makes him impotent.
With a broom, eh?
Yes.
But
the broom for sweeping the floor.
But the woman, you can hit her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they say
She will not be impotent.
So that's one of the worst things you can ever do to a man, is to hit him with a broom. The only way you can
get the cane.
They say the only way you can overturn it is if the person retaliates by hitting you 7 times.
Ooh, culture of wickedness.
So when somebody is able to, when the man is able to hit you back 7 times with that broom, then his impotency is suddenly alleviated and it disappears. Ladies and gentlemen, what does fertility and the human biology, what does a human sperm and the entire process of reproduction have to do with external factors of a broom?
Everything is simplicity.
We have been fooled for a long time. If we're going to build a new Africa, we have to toss all these things in the trash.
You see why I said education is about questioning? Because it is when you question that you think. If you don't question, you cannot think. So analytical thinking, critical thinking, and all those strategic thinking, they start with questioning. So if you don't question, you don't think. And if you are not thinking, you are not human. When God created man in Garden of Eden, Genesis 2:7, he said, as soon as God breathed into the man that he created, it was just flesh, just body. But as soon as God breathed into it, man became thinking man. That is the original. Man became thinking man. Or man became Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens means thinking man, or man. In our Bible it says man with soul, and soul is comprises of mind, mind man, or thinking man. That's what it means. So when you don't think, you are no better than animal. And that is what superstition does for you. It paralyzes your thinking faculty.
Ladies and gentlemen, we need to tweet this out. We need to share this with our friends. This is the Building a New Africa show, where we're talking about viable and practical options and practical ideas that would help us build Africa into a continent that the entire African populace can be proud of. Tweet this out to somebody. Tell them what we're doing and make them to come and join us. Share this video because somebody somewhere might still be believing something that is keeping them bound.